Good morning. In today's class, we will determine viscosity of the gases which is available at low density using molecular theory of the gases. So, if different layer of a fluid are moving with different velocity, viscous force come into play, tending to slow down the faster moving layer and to increase the velocity of slow moving layer. So, if you can see in this diagram, uh, in this the fluid is moving between these two plates, in which the lower plate is stationary and the upper plate is moving with a velocity v. So due to viscous effect, the layer which is in contact with the lower plate also have zero velocity, because the lower plate is stationary and the upper plate, this plate, moving with velocity v. So the layer which is in contact, the fluid layer which is in contact with the upper layer is also moving with the same velocity v, because no slip condition. So the velocity will be same of upper plate and the layer which is in contact with that layer, and there will be a gradual increase in fluid velocity, so from 0 to velocity v, due to viscous effect. So if we consider two parallel fluid layers separated by a normal distance y, this distance is y, and having velocity v and dv. Uh, so, uh, so if we consider two parallel fluid layers separated by a normal distance y and having velocity v and dv, v plus dv, then the viscous force is given as F equal to mu a dv by dy. And this we have already derived in our previous classes. Here is surface area of the layer, mu is viscosity uh, of the fluid, and this dv by dy is velocity gradient. Here you can see the sign, the negative sign, which indicate that the viscous force is opposing the relative motion. Now if we consider any fluid layer, let a gas flow over a fixed horizontal surface OX. So this surface is fixed, and the velocity of gas in contact with OX is 0 due to no slip condition. And consider a gas layer AB at a normal distance y from OX. So this layer AB is at a distance y from the this stationary surface OX. Let V be the velocity in layer AB. The velocity of AB is V. Consider two layers CD and EF above and below the layer AB at a distance lambda equal to free mean path of the molecule. So this one is CD and this one is EF, which is at a distance of lambda from this layer AB. So if this layer is moving with a velocity V and the velocity gradient is dV by dy, then the velocity of this upper layer and lower layer will be, this layer is moving at a velocity v and it is at a distance of lambda, then the total increase in velocity will be equal to the velocity gradient multiplied by distance. The velocity gradient is dv by dy, and if we multiply it by lambda, it will give the total velocity increase in upper layer. So the velocity of this upper layer will be equal to v plus increased velocity lambda dv by dy. Similarly, the lower layer is moving with a slower velocity, with a lower slow velocity, uh, and the velocity will be equal to v minus again the velocity gradient dv by dy into the distance. So the velocity of lower layer will be equal to v minus lambda dv by dy. Now uh, let us assume n equal to number of molecule per unit volume of the gas, and this u bar is the average speed of the gas molecule. Now, according to postulate of kinetic theory of gases, the gas molecule can move along the three axes x, y, and z direction. So there is equal probability of the molecule to move in any direction. So for example, in y direction, the number of molecule moving along y direction will be equal to n by 3, because the total number of molecule is n. So n by 3 molecules will move in x direction, n by 3 molecule move in y direction, and n by 3 molecule move in z direction. Now in y direction, out of n by 3 molecules, half of the molecule will move in upward direction and half of the molecule will move in downward direction. If you can see in this diagram, the y-axis means this axis. So in this the probability is that the half of the molecule will move in upward direction and half of the molecule will move in downward direction. The probability will be equal. So out of which n by 6 are moving in upward direction, that means in positive y direction, and n by 6 are moving in downward direction, that is negative y direction. Now number of molecule crossing the layer AB per unit area per unit time in downward direction. The average velocity is u bar, and the number of molecule moving in downward direction is n by 6. So if we multiply number of molecule by its average velocity, it will give number of molecule crossing layer AB per unit area per unit time. So we are multiplying this u bar, the average velocity, by the number of molecule n by 6. Similarly, the okay, this n by 6 into u bar. Now the downward movement carried by molecule from layer CD crossing layer AB per unit area per minute time will be equal to, the movement is equal to mass into velocity. So the mass of the upper layer is v plus lambda dv by dy, which we have calculated in our previous slide, and the mass of the layer will be equal to, if the mass of one molecule is equal to m, and there are total n by 6 into u bar molecules which are crossing the this layer AB and moving upward direction to layer CD, that is n by 6 into u bar. So if we multiply mass of one molecule by the this total number of molecule, then it will give total mass, and so this will be the total mass and this one will be the velocity of that particular layer. So if we multiply these two values, we will get the downward momentum carried by the molecule from layer CD. Similarly, upward movement carried by molecule from layer EF crossing layer AB per unit area per unit time, means by this layer. Again, the number of molecule crossing this layer are n by 6 into average velocity u bar, and its velocity is v minus lambda dv by dy. So the downward this upward momentum carried by the molecule from layer EF crossing layer AB per unit area per unit time will be equal to this is the mass of the molecules crossing this layer, and this one is the velocity of the layer EF. So it will give total momentum. Now if we want to calculate the net momentum transfer, then it will be equal to the momentum, the downward momentum minus upward momentum. If we take difference of these two value, we will get net momentum transfer. So to calculate net momentum transfer, which to layer AB per unit area per unit time will be equal to, if we divide equation 4 by equation 5, then we will get the net momentum transfer. And if we solve this equation, finally we will get this value. Now according to Newton law of motion, force is defined as rate of change of momentum. So equation 7 give force on layer AB per unit area. So this whole quantity will be equal to force per unit area. So this whole quantity will be equal to force, this F equal to 1 by 3 m n u bar lambda dv by dy. Now we can use Newton law of viscosity, which is equal to F equal to minus mu A dv by dy. But this equation is force per unit area, and this equation indicate force which is equal to minus mu A dv by dy. So to make their unit uniform, we can also take this quantity as force per unit area. So this is total force, and if we calculate force per unit area, then we have to divide this equation by A to make these two unit uniform in dimensions. So divide this equation 9 by area to get Newton law of viscosity, this force with force per unit area. So equation 9 for unit area can be written as this. So we have divided by the area. Now if we compare these two equations, now these two equations are equal. These equation 8 and 9 are equal, and now if we now we can equate these two equations. So if we equate these two equations, we can get the value of viscosity. If we equate equation 9 and 10, then we can get the value of viscosity. Now this m is mass of the molecules and n is number of molecule per unit volume. So if we multiply m into n, it will give density of the gas. M is total mass and n is number of molecule per unit volume. So if we multiply it, so mass per unit volume, so it will give the density of the gas. So we can replace this m into n by rho, the density of gas. So finally the viscosity will be equal to 1 by 3 rho u bar lambda. Now this average velocity is directly proportional to the square root of temperature. So if this value is directly proportional to square root of temperature and mu is directly proportional to average velocity, then finally we can say the viscosity is also directly proportional to the square root of the temperature. Hence coefficient of viscosity of gas is directly proportional to square root of its temperature. So from equation 11, coefficient of viscosity of gas is independent of pressure of the gas. In this equation, if you can see, the final equation derived for calculation of viscosity is independent of pressure. This is equal to 1 by 3 mn u bar lambda. So it's independent of pressure and it's dependent on temperature, and the dependency on temperature is directly proportional to square root of the temperature. In this, we consider a pure gas composed of rigid, non-attacking spherical molecule of diameter d. The concentration of gas molecule is presumed to be sufficiently small that the average distance between molecules is many times their diameter d. Because the gas density is very low, it means the gas diameter is very small as compared to the distance between two molecules. In such a gas, it is known that at equilibrium the molecular velocities are randomly directed and have an average magnitude given by this u bar equal to square root of 8 kt upon pi m. And the mean free path lambda is equal to the average distance traveled by molecule between successive collision is the mean free path lambda given by this lambda equal to 1 upon root 2 pi d square n. So if we put value of this average velocity and mean free path in the equation, this equation 11. In equation 11 we have 1 by 3 m and u bar lambda. So if we replace this mean free path and lambda in this equation, then we get the final value of viscosity. So after putting this u bar and lambda in equation 11, we can get the final value of velocity, which is equal to 2 upon 3 pi root pi m kt upon pi d square. This above derivation give a qualitative correct picture of momentum transfer in a gas at low density. So in this way we can determine viscosity of a gas using kinetic theory, and the gas is available at low density. In this pi d square, this quantity here in this pi d square, this pi d square is called collision cross section. So this collision squares cross section is this one, this circle. When two rigid sphere of diameter d approach each other, the center of one sphere at O dash, this O dash, see a circle of area pi d square above the circle of other sphere, this pi d square, this same circle on which a collision can occur. The area pi d square is referred to as collision cross section. So this was the derivation to derive viscosity of the gas which is available at low density using molecular theory of the gases, but this theory has some limitations. For example, the prediction of equation 17 that mu is independent of the pressure agree with experimental data up to about 10 atmosphere at temperature about critical pressure. So in this equation, in this equation 11 you can see the viscosity is independent of the pressure as per kinetic theory of the gases, but in actual this is applicable only up to 10 atmosphere of pressure, and if temperature exceed above 10 atmosphere, then the pressure start affecting the value of viscosity. The second limitation of this theory is that the predicted temperature dependence is less satisfactory. Data for various gases indicate that mu increases more rapidly than square root of T. Again, if you can see these equations like this equation 14, or you can see equation 17, the temperature dependency of viscosity is square root power of the temperature, but it was found that this viscosity increases much more rapidly than square root of temperature. So these are two uh, limitations of this theory. So after that there were many more theory came into pictures, but I am not explaining all this theory. You can refer the book in which 2-3 more theory are also given. So this is the end of today class, in which we have derived viscosity of low density gases using molecular theory of gas. Thank you.